Welcome back again. Last episode, I continued the discussion about the emotional high of setting goals and resolutions. To recap, emotions of accomplishment are not necessarily released from taking action or achieving a goal, but from merely setting one. In fact, action can replace those chemicals with resistance, doubt, and fear. To catch that episode, click here or the link in the description. Therefore, it's important to not get lost in emotions. Most people make decisions on feelings. They base their decisions on what feels right in the moment. Unfortunately, what feels right can be very deceiving. To understand what I mean, it helps to understand my personal journey of managing emotions. The reason I sought personal development is because at a certain point, I had severe emotional challenges. I was cycling through very intense feelings very rapidly with fierce highs and lows. One minute I was happy and wanted to save the world, another minute the complete opposite. One minute I was convinced a certain option or action was the right course, but the next minute something completely different. In that moment, that specific thought or decision felt so right. Though once emotion shifted, I was somewhere else. There's one and only one thing that helped me get a grip on this. It's a concept I've not really heard talked about anywhere. However, it was the most instrumental thing in managing this mayhem. Without it, I would probably have ended up in jail or locked up in an insane asylum. No joke. It's a concept of the three convincers. That is, there are three ways you can be convinced of something. One is with logical evidence, two is with physical evidence, and three via emotions. To illustrate, if I was holding a toy boat, how could I convince you that it floats? Well, one, I can use logic and say the material the boat is made of is less dense than water and less dense objects float to the top. Two, I could place a boat in water and you can physically see it floating. Then there is an emotional convincer. It doesn't use logic or physical evidence, but relies solely on feelings. Oh my God, this boat is so amazing. It does all these cool things like float in water. I'm having hours and hours of fun with it because it never sinks. Such feelings bypass the logical and physical parts of the mind and influence us directly. Emotions can convince us to do all sorts of things, even things that are harmful. This is how advertising convinces us to buy products that aren't good for us. What are Marlboro, Coca-Cola, and McDonald's slogan? Cool, open happiness, I'm loving it. They are inciting your emotions. If you look at the logical and physical evidence, cigarettes, soft drinks, and fast food are some of the worst things a person can put in their body. However, advertising that is emotionally charged will bypass the logical and physical parts of the brain and create a strong pull toward it, a pull that is difficult to resist. It's not just advertising that uses emotions to influence your behavior, but also your mind. It will convince you that someone doesn't like you when in fact they have no opinion. You can be convinced that something is difficult without ever trying. And as it relates to goals and resolutions, your brain can convince you that something is a right choice when it's not, that you'll stick with a goal when in reality you won't, or you'll easily pick up where you leave off when that's not the case. Understanding this is the only way I got a grip on my emotional mayhem. I learned to be extremely critical of my emotions. I learned to look for the logical or physical evidence to support the emotional high or low. Although my emotions are saying one thing, what is the logic or physical evidence suggesting? I made sure the emotional high didn't persuade me to do something that wasn't good or that I couldn't stick with long enough to get done. It curbed me from wild, erratic, and impulsive behavior and even purchases and allowed me to stick with things long enough to get them done. Next episode, I'm going to show you how to apply this to your New Year's goals and resolutions. So make sure to hit like and subscribe so you're notified of these fantastic episodes. Before ending, I want to say my emotions are questioning whether this made sense to you, so please leave a comment with your thoughts. Until next time.